Hey, well, I'm apologizing for not posting anything since last January or February, I guess. So this is just a little bit of the last snow melt. I had Bryant and Ethan over here, um, getting ready for spring. This was about 2 weekends before spring hit. Uh, some some work a little bit harder than others. Bless his heart. Um, you just can't teach something like this. Anyway, I'm so grateful for their assistance in cleaning up all this brush and nonsense. Um, and yeah, it was several times we had to break away from construction to get cleaned up out here. And then this was moving over by the fence, by the creek. The creek has eroded away so much that it's basically knocking the posts into the creek. They're washing away, so I had to disassemble it. And this is Sani, my little beautiful wife, out there helping the guys. So we'll come back and catch up on some construction right after this message. I'm also trying to catch up on some construction that I did 20 years ago when I built the little tiny house. The back wall just has, well, it's got Tyvek on it, and then I also put black roofing, 90-pound roofing paper on it. So I made this little frame. It's still wet with stain, but I wanted to just get it up. It fit like a glove. Um, all of this was framed in. I went and bought this inch and a half insulation. Now the wall, see, I furred it out with these studs, but they're laying flat, so that'll be perfect to hold the inch and a half insulation in there. And it's been like that for 20 years. It is already insulated, and now here I'm covering it with T111. And there you can see some of the insulation still to be covered. And I need to build a cover also for that air conditioner unit. That's coming up here in a little bit. And of course, all these really weird cut up pieces. This is how I kind of draw it out and hope for the best. Usually it needs just a little bit of trimming in one of my measurements, but there you see that one fit perfectly. And one of my favorite tools right here, this is a track saw, and you're able to just make minute perfect cuts. So it's one of my preferred tools. It kind of takes the place of a table saw in most instances on a job site. There still is a place for table saws, though, for sure. This is ripping 15-degree angle on the sill for the windows. These are going to be for the louvers that actually open and close. And switching over to battery everything has been just great. I love it. I just bought a couple new batteries too. I've had one fail. This is a very small little roof that it's going over the inside. It's kind of hard to explain. Getting ready for stain here, it looks like. Everything seems to be cut and placed, and These are just some of the tools that are required to do this stuff. And I still don't have a back wall, so I'm going to need to go by. Now right here is where I'm putting another roof onto those rafter tails, so it brings it into the room. It's not a very big roof, it's this little tiny one, and it's going to attach onto there. This is the metal that's going to go on that little tiny roof. And this is the video that made me think, hey, I better give up all that Haagen-Dazs at night, because I certainly am putting on a few pounds. But this is just trimming up the metal roofing that's going to come into the room. I've got a really cool plan for this this roof that's going to come into the room. You'll see here in a little bit. All right, this is the cover that's going to go over the air conditioner heater outside unit. There it is. Ta-da! Yeah. So that's on and working and fine, and the door's on. And now this is a temporary rain gutter. Okay, strictly temporary. I don't even have the. Do I have the small roof? Yeah, the small roof's on there. All right, now here we go. We're breaking into the construction to go tear down my fence. I really hated to do this, and there's so much money involved. There's wire on the backside of all of this from ground to the top, and I was growing vines on them. Now we're just stacking them up, trying to pull them out with the tractor, and they're covered in vines. And of course, now that I'm making this video currently, there's no way. No way. All right. Oh, this is the beautiful, cute little windows that I got off Facebook Marketplace. They're just temporarily held in place. And yeah, so what's going to hold them in will be the T111 on the outside when I get to that. But I have to build this wall, the end wall, first. I found a use for these cabinets during construction. Just little tool holders. I may move these or get rid of these. I haven't really decided what I'm going to do yet. Here's the material for the back wall, where the louvers are going to go and whatnot. And a little framing like I framed in right there. I want to build a spice rack cabinet that's going to live like right in that area where I'll be grilling. I still don't have doors on it. I'm going to make doors that actually hold some more spices, or a door rather. I put a window in that I didn't look at very closely, and I saw it when I was putting the last screw in the corner. It's cracked. Some of the insulation between the panels is popping. I just wanted to throw it away. So Greg came over and helped me put a new window in. It went in pretty easy. You can see the wall is starting to take shape. Very precarious though. Okay, here's, oh, you see that groove cut in the 2x6s for the side walls? That is for screen to be put in later. Trying to move this stuff by myself. The T111 isn't light, let me tell you, especially for an old man. But gonna get it done. Gonna power through it. I can pick it up like that, but I can't really muscle it over my head or anything. Yeah, I don't know what I'd do without this track saw. It is, I mean, it's one of the greatest inventions ever. I wish I would have had one or known about it when I was young and doing this for a living. Of course, you know, I think my first battery-powered Makita was 9.6 volts or something. Never could have kept up on a job site, not like these modern tools and batteries. This is just cutting out for the back wall. I'm working by myself again, so I'm just putting the ledger up so I don't have to hold it in place. And this is just a temporary fitting because I want to put another little accent into it. So right below the window, pretty much centered below the window, is this panel. And so I've removed the T111 off the side of the building, and now I'm cutting that box out. And you'll see what I'm going to build with that. I'm going to add on to it. Man, this track saw is awesome. I guess I better put in some background music because there are some dead spots in this video. But yeah, this is just cutting out that box, for that box rather. And there you have it. I'm narrating this video because one of my buddies said, "Oh, I only watch the parts that you're not talking in." Where I've got it pointed at my face, you know. So it's almost centered. It's not quite centered, but that's because of the way that the panels are going to fit. I framed that in for 2 foot on center on the inside and 16 on center on the outside. There's one of the little sills that's been cut, and then the sides are 2x6. The bottom was a 2x8. These are all these funky little cuts that I have to draw these little diagrams for. There it is. So yeah, perfect. Okay, this is the pipe. I got my rain gutter, special order round rain gutter, or half round rain gutter in. But I needed to finish my little roof that I put on and put the rain gutter in. And since I had not received my clear downspout yet, I'm putting this piece in temporarily. And then we're going to put some elbows on the bottom and run it out away from the bottom of the deck. So you see the rain gutter is actually going to be dumping from both roofs onto my little extension roof and into the rain gutter. And then we've got some surprises coming up. Yeah, so it basically shoots out. The big one up on top shoots out and misses it when it's really raining hard. This is the outside, so it's catching a little bit of rain. If it's just drizzling, it will dump a little bit of rain into that. Yeah, just moving along with the framing. And getting ready to stain. Me after And here we have a little bit of staining on the outside. Even though it's springtime and it was nice and cool outside, putting on that Tyvek suit, man, I was sweating. It was terrible. But anyway, got the outside all stained off and the sprayer cleaned back off, and it took several hours. There's my loyal quadruped, Tesla, the wonder dog. She's so beautiful. Love her to death. And Sonny is attempting to clean the windows with something other than window cleaner. But in the end, they were clean. Now here's the little stainless steel box that I ordered. Guess what this is for? This is to start a barbecue. So Oh, let's break away from that and show you my clear tube um, with the rain chain. And it started raining a little bit. I think I got a little bit of a trickle going on here, or do I? No, not yet. But you'll see, it'll dump in there. I think I do have some video of it. I had to readjust this chain, take it up a little bit higher because it was running down the side of the clear tubing. This was gluing in the two windows. They're done. They're glued in. They didn't even need anything on the inside, but I'm going to put something on the inside. This is the beginning of the louvers. The siding's already on. There's some louvers. Here's the big window. That was the small window. This is the big window. You know, get all this stuff cleaned up and sanded and put a stain on it and then a clear coat. Yeah. Exterior spar urethane. It took forever to dry. I guess maybe because it's humid, or I don't know, but it took about 3 days for it to dry, maybe even 4, and it was still a little tacky, but I couldn't wait any longer. And it looks okay, you know, I like it. Okay, here's after I readjusted the chain. I do have water going down there from the rain, and it dumps out the back, out one of the tubes out there. And these things work great. This is after the second one's in. Louvers, baby. It looks great, and it really opens the room up, and yeah, or it closes it off in the winter. Spring has sprung for sure. So we got rid of the grapes, kept the blueberries. We're getting a couple little buds on the fig tree. Plums, peaches, apples, pears, garden, whatever. But anyway, spring has sprung, and I got new mower blades. Man, that was a breeze. I loved it. I just kept mowing and mowing. Hell, I mowed my neighbors and my next door neighbor beyond him, and man, I love new blades. All right, later. Now, this is a mailbox upside down that I have cut louvers into and put a stack on the top. And now the little door there that was to put packages in when it was right side up is going to work great for pushing ash out from the outside. And there it is, all painted flat black, and it's going to mount right there like that through that hole right behind there, and it is to house this baby, because we all know when you're putting in a bunch of newspaper in that thing, it's going to smoke like crazy. So rather than have it sitting on my tile floor that we haven't put in yet, that's where that blue part is. Oh, here we go. More poles for the spiral staircase. Yeah, it cost me a fortune, these things. Just the hardware to do what I'm doing currently was $350. Each pole is like $50, so it's pricey. What am I doing here? Am I smoking something? No. Okay, so I put some clear plastic, some vinyl, some heavy-duty vinyl tarpage on the back side to open this room back up. There you can kind of see that it's a tarp. The folds never come out of it. Now, I saw these on Facebook Marketplace. Look, I couldn't pass it up. They were $20 a piece. They're huge. They're spools, but they're heavy-duty steel. there's some real steel there. And if you know steel prices right now, so, but the reason that I got two of these things is I'm going to cut them up, and I think I can make some sort of a shroud, a roof over the spiral staircase. And then these are two metal cabinets that are going to hold like barbecue supplies and whatnot. Here we're testing out how we want to lay out the floor tiles. I tried several different iterations of, patterns and whatnot. And Sonny and I decided on one that turned out really nice. So here we're putting glue down, adhesive, and I kind of turned her loose, let her put this stuff together. I just did all the cutting on the saw. Great investment, Harbor Freight investment. Some things, Harbor Freight does really well, and yeah. So we're still waiting for this to dry as of this posting. So, there's my Harbor Freight saw. It's great. It really is. It was, I don't know, a couple $100, but man, I couldn't have done those 2-foot long tiles if I didn't have it. And there she is, just chugging away. And that's pretty much gonna conclude this video. And we did have a whole bunch of weather come in. I saved you from putting all of the weather footage, but here's just a little itty bitty taste. There's nothing, no big deal really.
Information Mike, wind at 320 degrees at 6, temperature 53, altimeter 3000.